unnecessary intro song to totally waste your time.
Is there any possible way that Chris Cuomo won't be called Fredo for the rest of his fucking life by everyone? What an idiot. Oh man, people just can't figure out the Streisand effect. Probably Barbara Streisand still can't figure it out. It's just such rudimentary things. You can't throw a temper tantrum about a nickname. You have to pretend you didn't hear it. Or Eminem that shit and embrace it first. Take the fun out of it. Man, Chris Cuomo has just made it impossible. Impossible for anyone, including his own mother, to think of him as anything but Fredo. When he walks into a room, here comes Fredo. A lot of people won't say it, but everybody's going to think it. He screwed up. Oh, this happens all the time. And it kind of gives me great hope in a way. I don't know if you guys have seen that 14-year-old girl I post sometimes named Soph. But I spent some time, and of course this sounds totally creepy, some 52-year-old dude watching the YouTube videos of a 14-year-old girl and her 14-year-old friends, you know. But here, the deal is they're smart. They're smarter than you. Probably they are. And it gives me great hope. And part of the reason why is this inability for people to understand the Streisand effect. When Mark Zuckerberg goes around and bans Gavin, and bans Alex Jones, and bans Milo, and Laura Loomer, and even Louis Farrakhan, and some of the radicals on the left, where do you think the kids go? Huh? That's immediately where they go to find their information. And then they figure it out. They go, oh, well, you called Milo a Nazi, but he's a gay Jew married to a black guy. And you called Gavin McInnes a Nazi, and he's a punk rocker who started Vice magazine, an irreverent guy who doesn't take any shit from anyone. He's a normal person. You tried to make him seem evil. Now, you've introduced us to them. They're funnier than you. They're smarter than you. And now we know that you are a liar, that you lied about them. How do they think they're winning? How do they think? I get it that they just think they can delete everybody, but you can't. You just can't delete everybody. And when you do, or put a warning sticker on it, tipper goer, you just increase the exposure. This is simple mathematics. Fredo. I saw a meme where it says you try to battle a stereotype by threatening to break somebody's legs. Oh, geez. Do you know what I mean? Ban me. Do me a favor. Ban me. That should be what everybody wants. I mean, I guess Andy No, he's been benefiting from that. He got punched in the eye, and then he got on every single show. You know, they tried to do away with him. It increased his, footprint. Way to go, dipshits. I guess that's why it hurts so much to be ignored. You know, I guess that's why indifference hurts the most, is because that's the only thing that actually works. If people hate you, they'll express that outrage and that hatred. Guaranteed you're going to get a few new fans that are going to find you, because human beings, as wonderful as they can be, often look to defend the accused. I certainly do. That's my inclination. Whenever somebody is attacked, my inclination is to defend them. You know, I discover lots of wonderful people that way. Just look and see who they're attacking. Who does that guy hate? Whoever that guy hates is probably fantastic. You know? It's an old story. It's biblical in a way. I'm trying to think of a Bible story that exemplifies it. I can't. Well, I mean, hell, if Jesus, well, not Jesus, but if the Bible hadn't talked so much shit about Satan, there probably wouldn't be rock and roll. You know what I mean? Why are you talking shit? Stop talking shit, you know? That's the problem, is everybody is a human. Everybody. Even when you talk shit about people who have demonstrably done terrible things, if you talk too much about it, you're going to appeal to the empathy in others and that desire to defend them. They're going to go over. I mean, and honestly, that's kind of a funny thing, now that I bring it up. I remember when I was a young Mormon boy, you'd have to go in for a bishop's interview every year or so. And basically, I would do that. Now, one of the things that Mormons do is you have to pay 10% of your income as tithing. And of course, I wouldn't. But at the last, like in December, they did the interviews in December. So for December, I'd pay 10%. And then the bishop would ask, have you been paying your tithing? I'd go, well, I just started. I'm going to. Okay, everything's good. But one of the other questions they would ask you is, have you ever had sympathy for the devil? You know, and they weren't talking about an album. And I always had to lie in that question, because I always thought, well, kind of, because I remember the story about the war in heaven. God apparently asked Jesus and Satan, his two sons, to come up with some good plan for Earth. Satan goes, well, I'll just make everybody do what's right, and there you go. I get the credit for that. Good plan, eh? Jesus said, well, no, I'm going to give people free will, and then all the glory will go to God. And God smote Satan to hell and elevated Jesus as the number one favorite son. What a jerk. You know what I mean? He asked them to come. And especially because God's supposed to be all-knowing, so he knew Satan was going to say that. So he set him up for failure? That's some fucking lame parenting, if you ask me. Literally setting up your kid for failure. Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, I guess the future of censorship and everything, the one thing that I keep telling people is that maybe it's all good, you know? Maybe we're getting the forbidden back. Nothing's forbidden anymore, you know? What joy is there in doing something that's not forbidden? Oh, emergency. Listen to this. You don't need to hear that shit. That emergency the thing goes off when it's somebody's birthday. It's not an emergency. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. The forbidden is back. So we can thank the Puritans for that. The forbidden is back. So go out and enjoy it. Thanks for listening.